So hello and welcome back to 100 Days of Code with your host Lilly Code. So today we are continuing on with the 100 Days of Code challenge and we are on day 75 today. So let's get going. What we were doing yesterday was implementing parameter URLs and it didn't work because the React Router DOM has since been updated to now not use switch anymore. So the way that Sean Wassells is implementing it here is by using switch. So we were going to use switch in order to display our 404 page. So we need to have a look into this and just see how do we... Oh, taking the lid off would be a good idea. As with more water, I'm a fish, but we won't worry about that for the moment. So what we also want to do is, what's the alternative to switch now, just to get a bit of an idea. So switch, React Router, new approach. Let's try and just get some general guidelines as to how this has been changed. So switch and link, yes, that was the old way. So how do we do it in the new way? Let's see what we get here. So where did I just go? History. Don't see what I'm looking for there. React, switch and link. Okay, so yeah, we installed React Router DOM. Adding the router tag, cool. Yes, okay, so this is using the new approach. So great, let's see what this says. Just because I know Shaun is using the old approach and what he just did didn't work for us because he's using just a previous version of React Router DOM. So let me see what they do here. Yes, okay, we've got all that. Oh, so you can say exact component. Okay, so you can use this exact keyword with the new layout. So we'll add that in because we do want our home page to be exact. Let's check that out. So let's go to our home page with just a / cool. Let's go to our counter page. Cool. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. And so what was Shaun doing a minute ago? That didn't work for us then. Yeah, so we added a separate row for our not found page. Oh yeah, and then it was just showing on every page because we hadn't got the path filled in. But I don't know if that's how you do it with the new approach because I don't see it on my page like Shaun did. So Shaun is on the people list page, yeah, and it's just showing the 404 at the end of his page, which it isn't on mine, and there has been an update since this course was made, so we just need to be aware of that. So let's go back to our browser here. Let me zoom in so you can also read this and see what's happening. Unknown page. Okay, cool. This is exactly what we're trying to configure at the moment, an unknown page. We want to navigate to the error page. Yes, in browser router we can't do that. We have to use switch. Okay, so you still do use switch. Switch, okay. I thought switch had been replaced. So switch will only match one at a given time. By wrapping all the tags in a switch tag, we can perform error handling. To use switch, we have to add this along with browser router and root in the import section. After adding the switch code, it will look like the one below. So we literally just wrap everything in switch. We have our router error page, so that's cool. That's our same as our 404 page, or our not found page is what we've called it, so cool. So let's just continue to do what Shaun's doing then. I don't know why I don't see this on my page standardly, but we do need to use switch, it seems, because she's using the updated layout, the layout that I found from the documents, not from the course. So therefore if we add a comma here and say switch, we need to bring switch in as well. Not like that. Holy moly, holy moly. So switch, and then we wrap everything in this switch tag underneath the browser router, and then we'll close off this switch tag and wrap everything in this switch. Save. Cool. And then let's see what Shaun does. So this makes our routes exclusive. Now only one route will be displayed at a time. So we weren't seeing the same problem, but we'll do it anyway. And our links should be outside of this switch. Just our routes should be within this switch. So like this, and still within the browser router. Cool. So I will tab this in. I'll tab this back. I'll tab that's perfect. Save. Let's have a look. Switch is not exported from pages. Oh, of course it isn't. Yes, that's very true. Switch is coming from this import, React Router DOM. So that needs to go into this object, telling React where we are getting this switch from. We put it in coming from the wrong place. So now it should be able to be found. So it's not exported from React Browser DOM either. Let's just make sure that that's... Yeah, switch from React Router DOM. That's what he did. So switch, React Router DOM. Let's just go back to the actual documentation now and have a look for switch. So I'll just literally search for switch. Yeah, it seems to be not here. So let's say React Router DOM switch and I'm just going to go back to the original Stack Overflow that told me that this had indeed changed behavior and see what version this says. So this is saying version 6 is a bit different. Please look at the sample below. So, okay. 5 and 6. So let's just type in version 6 here. Version 6. And see what happens. A guide to using React Router in version 6. Okay. Switch is not exported. Cool. Let's check out this. In package.json, okay, switch, yes, we can find switch, cool. You are using React Router DOM version 6, which replaces switch with the roots component. So now we use roots, cool. Notice that you also pass your prop as an element, yes, okay. So I'm also going to save this link because that explains a bit more about it. And what I'm also going to do now is just go back to the way it was, because we do not use switch in version 6, it seems. We already have our routes there, so we have everything we need, which is why we were not seeing the same thing that Shaun was seeing, which was where the... Which is why we were seeing the same thing Shaun was seeing, which was that... Yes, that the not found was being injected into every single page because they already handled that by using the routes. So that stopped that action happening. Okay. I update my answer. I overlooked your version. Brother routes don't show error, but it doesn't render the home component. Check the documentation. This is how you pass a link. Cool. If you want to use switch, then install version 5. So we don't. That's perfect. We want to use the update code. I just wanted to see what's going on there. So, okay, great. So let's just continue. So this particular 3 is not really all that useful to us. Although we still set up our not found page. So we did do that, but 3.3 implement not found is slightly off. Slightly off. No switch in version 6 of React Router DOM. It's just important I take a note of this router DOM and also put it in the comments for anybody who wants to continue to do Sean Wassells' course, because it's a great course. I still recommend it. Just a few bits have updated, which is probably good to know, because you know you might see older projects that have the switch and you're like, what? Switch if you only learned React Router DOM version 6 or 7, or you know, as this continues to go on, the code just, you know, it's so ongoing. Like, you're constantly learning in this industry. It's at a very high pace, so these things are changing all the time, but you still need to know about legacy code and what can be found in older projects. So if you come across a project that has React Router DOM version 5 installed, it's good to know these things. Cool. So now we're going to have a little look at authentication and how that would work. So we'll come to our pages here and we'll create a new page called protected page. So new file, protected page.js. Perfect. Cool. So we'll just, as always, create our normal page. So we'll export const protected page, and this is going to be set up as always. So just an arrow function, bada bing, bada boom, baby, and then our return statement with our parentheses, regular parentheses, and we'll add a h1 tag in here. So I wonder why Sean didn't go and do this another way. So only auth users should be able to see this page, be able to see this page. Cool. And also we have our index.js, which is exporting all of these pages so we can use it elsewhere and just import it in that same object from pages. When we're importing them, we can import these together if we like, or we just import it from pages. So we'll export not protected page from same level protected page. Perfect. And semicolon at the end of the line. So lovely. Cool. Yeah, and then we obviously just add it to our app.js as we have all the others. So the not found still says at the bottom, yeah, because that's the last one that we add. And we will copy and paste this here and just say protected page. Protected page, yeah, and this can be, what route is he going to use? Okay, protected, so let's stick with the same. Protected. And did this import it? It did indeed, so perfect. As you can see, it added it to our import object here and from pages, which is just from this index.js where we've exported all of these different pages, so perfect. Cool. Okay, yeah, so now if we add, or if we navigate to this page, I should say, so if I go to protected, cool, only auth users should be able to see this page. Great. And then we're going to actually add some checks to check that. So in a real app, we would use some authentication logic now, or we would have a Boolean, did you say? In a real app, an auth provider or our own authentication logic, yeah, or an auth provider, but we're going to just use a Boolean. Cool, so in our protected page, let's close all the other pages here. We've got so many pages going on, so close, didn't mean to close all. We'll open up a protected page again, and at the top of this file, we will import our redirect from React Router DOM, here we go. Add our semicolon and okay, so then in our protected page, rather than having this H1, instead, so I'll comment all of this out, like so. Instead, what we will do is return a redirect to equals and pass it the path, and this will just be the home page. And close this off, so okay. Oh yeah, so then if obviously that makes sense, yeah, so whenever we try and redirect, let's reload. Redirect is not exported from React Router DOM. That's where Shaun is getting it from anyway. So is this something else that has changed? Let's see. Redirect in version 6. Redirect version 6 of React Router DOM. And I will close all of these other tabs because it's getting crazy. So how to use redirect in React Router version 6, and let's open this one as well for the crack-a-lack-jack. I'm trying to upgrade to version 6, yes. The last route is redirecting to the rest of the paths to just home, yeah. This looks like a bug in the docs. I think you should use the no match route option. So I'm not seeing what I want there. When using the last version of React Router module, I want to know how to make a redirection. Yeah, well, that is what we want to do. We want to redirect, but in the case of a... So here we go. We have a redirect in here. So let's see what these are going to say. Your redirect looks like JSX, not JX. Not JS. Okay, so this is how our redirect looks as well. And that's how Shaun's redirect looks. So don't think that's what it is. So let's see this. You have to use set state. That seems complicated. Or we can use history. Yeah. Okay. This is the JXX file. Notice how the longest paths come first and gets more general. For the most general routes, use the exact attribute. They get more general. This is switch, so this isn't version 6. Version 5. I ain't interested in version 5. I want version 6. So let's close these. We need to find out about version 6. This is version 5. If I just change this to a 6. I don't think so. Yeah, no. Cool. So here we go. Notes on handling redirects in React Router version 6. Let's zoom in for you guys. Zoom in some more. Yeah. So redirects, an important part of routing is handling redirects. It usually happens when you want to preserve an old link and send traffic for a new destination, or in the case of what we're using it for, authentication. In 4 or 5, they have the same API. We had a redirect component. Yep, that's what Sean's using. Yep, this is what we see. Okay, yes. So when the user lands at /, they're automatically directed to home. Problems. There's a few problems with our redirect strategy in 4 to 5. Okay. Handling redirects in version 6. Our recommendation for redirecting in version 6 doesn't really have much to do with React or React Router at all. It's simply this. If you need to redirect, do it on the server before you render any React and send the right status code. That's it. Helpful. So now you need to use Express API or something instead. This might be your server code. If you aren't server rendering, okay, your app, you can still redirect on the initial render in the client side like this. Cool. Okay, so you want to navigate, replace to. This is what we do instead. Cool, so we use navigate. Navigate is the new, or, you know, not the new way, because actually it seems like they've completely changed the approach. So I'll just go back for a minute. This was what we had in version 5. So I'll comment this out and say version 5 React Router DOM. And here we'll have version 6. Version 6 above. Version 5 here. Cool. And version 6 should actually probably just come like literally then have this, you know. Makes more sense. So version 6, root path, home, element, then you pass it the element, navigate, replace to home page. Cool. So this should be So I don't think we have a path named home, so it's not going to go there. Yeah, no, we don't. We literally just have the home page. Route is a /. So we better just say navigate to /, because that is our home. And let's see what happens now if we have solved this with navigate. Route is not defined, navigate is not defined in this component. Perfect, that's okay. That's all gravy, baby. We just didn't import them, so let's replace redirect with navigate, and route also needs to come in here. Save. Check the render method of protected page. Yeah, so let's just get rid of some of these. Madness, absolute madness going on in here, bro. We want it simple, isn't it? So let's say if I move this as well down. My comment shouldn't do anything, but just because I don't really know what's going on at the moment, make it simple. So I'll move these down here. That should just give us a warning for shizzle. And then if I save and we have our return, which nothing's wrong with that, and save. Element type is invalid. Expected a string. Yes, we do normally pass a string. But got undefined. You likely forgot to export your component from the file it's defined in, or you might have mixed up your default named imports and exports. That's true. I could have mixed them up. To replace state. To replace and state. So this is expecting to replace and a state. Let's save. Let's add home as another path just to see here. So if we add path / home, and this is going to be also to the home page, and save, and then say protected page to home, so we can pass in something other than just slash and slash here, you know, and reload. Bam. Right, so route should be wrapped in routes. Like, we're not on the right track. I don't know if we really are here, but look, let's just follow the error messages, see what's going on. I'm not sure, you know, we're figuring this out. We will figure it out. So routes needs to be added up here, so that makes perfect sense. Routes, save. Route is not defined. So let's just go to home. Okay, let's go to counter page. Let's go to protected, and we should get routed away to the home. Okay. Please change the parent route path protected to route path protected like this. Let's see if that does something. So you rendered descendant routes or called use routes at protected. Yeah, I did, because I thought I was supposed to. But the parent route path has no trailing star. Okay. So then when we are in our app.js, this should have a / and a star. And then does that warning go away? Is that what that said? Please change it to / star, yeah. Okay, so we'll save. We'll reload. We're on the home page. We'll go to protected. Okay. Oh yeah, it didn't type in the right thing. No routes match that. We should have got our 404. So protected. We were redirected to home. Cool. Okay. And we still don't have that error anymore. And then in our counter button page JS line 2, let's just get rid of that warning. We don't need this. It's just telling us there. Line 2, use param is defined but never used, which it is. So we'll get rid of this. And then let's just also get rid of these comments down the bottom of our app.js, because they've been there long enough. And we've committed those changes anyway, if we do want to have a look back at those. So, and I'll also get rid of the console logs in our greeting, because we've also proved that point. So I'll save, reload. We're on our home page. Cool. Let's just go to / should be home. Cool. Let's go to counter page. Cool. Let's go to protected. Should bring us home. Cool. Okay. So we're figuring this out ourselves, and it's not going too bad, even though I don't fully understand it, and the documentation still not clear, but that's okay. In the above example, when someone visits / they will automatically be directed to / home. So this should say if the route path is protected. Save. Let's see. In my mind. So now what about if we go to /? Cool. What about if we go to protected? Now it breaks. Okay, so I don't know. Okay. Please note this won't work when server rendering because the navigation happens in a React use effect. The new navigate element works like a declarative function. Works like a declarative version of the useNavigate hook. It's particularly handy where you need a React element to declare your navigation intent, like root element. It also replaces any uses that you had for a redirect element in version 5 outside of a switch. The navigate replace tells the router to use history.replace state when updating the URL. So the / entry won't end up in the history stack. This means when someone clicks the back button, they'll end up at the page they're at before they navigated to /. Okay, so I'm also going to save this page. It has some important information. It still hasn't fully clicked for me just yet. The penny has not dropped. But we'll continue because, you know, it will if we keep on going. Yeah. Cool. So we want this to happen actually in the case that a user isn't authenticated. So normally we would have some logic behind that, but just to test it out, we'll say const is auth is equal to false. So we'll say they do not have authentication at the moment, false. Equal to false. Cool. And then cool. So if the user is authed, so we'll say return is authed. So if they are authed, we will return the first thing we had, which was open parentheses h1 saying only authed users can see this, and this should be is authed. So only authed can visualize page. Cool. And then we will add a else, and in the else statement, if they're false, not authed, we will show redirect them. So let's save. Let's go back. So chapter 3 is not ideal in this course, if you ask me. Because I had a bit of experience coming in here, like not much, but a little bit, enough that I can feel my way around this. But if this was your first ever React course, which a lot of the time they are, because you don't spend forever on courses, you move on. So, you know, it's going to be someone relatively new, possibly, very probable. Could be someone really, you know, experienced as well, who knows. But, so if we go to protected, we're not authed, we get brought to the home page, great. And then if we change this to true, we should see this page, because now is authed is true, so we should see the paragraph. So let's try that again. Oh baby, great. Okay, cool. So let's just add those changes now that we've done that, so while Sean is still chatting here. So great. Cool. Added auth functionality like a little bit with, what was the redirect called? Navigate. Cool. Okay, and now we're going to use the use history hook. So this is cool, actually. I've really wanted to use this a little bit, so that's exciting. So we're going to import use history from React. No, from React Router DOM. So you tell me. Let's try and just use it and see if it'll give us an opportunity to automatically import it, which it doesn't do with the hooks for some reason. So history equals use history, and let's see if we can have a package that will help us automatically import these so we get them from the right place. So import hooks from React extension. So okay, use history is not defined. Let's see what's going on here. So use history should be coming from React Router DOM. Use history. There we go. Use history. Save. Reload. It's not exported. So use history. Use history. Excuse me. How to use history in React hooks. Okay, so learn how to use. Oh my god, look! The recommended course is Max's course. Amazing. Use history from React Router DOM. So let's just search for this error instead. And go to Stack Overflow. You need to be using React greater than 16.8 in order to use history. It's now using useNavigate. Okay, well that makes sense. So we will instead use useNavigate, and call this navigate. Okay, and let's continue and see if that works and if we can use navigate in the exact same way as we would have used use history. So I better save that link as well because, you know, these are all updated versions. So use history, no longer available, useNavigate. Cool. And I've pasted in that link so I can add these to the comments when this video is being posted. So you also have links to all of the Stack Overflow links that I've used because it's important so you can do your own research, you know, and maybe do this whole thing yourself, because I still find this course very useful. So now we'll use effect, and it's good to know these things, you know, as I said. So here we will use the use effect hook. So use effect, we know how this works. It takes in a arrow function, and we're back up here. So this is an unnamed arrow function. Cool. We need to import use effect from React. Cool, that's been done. And we need to add some code in here. So what we want to do is say if is not authed, is authed, then navigate dot push and send them to the home page. So let's see if it works in the exact same way. So now down here we don't need to have the isAuth check. We just need to return the true case, because if it's not authed, it will use effect to check that first and do something else. So I just need my closing parentheses there. If I save, And let's go to home. Okay, let's go to the counter page. Let's go to protected. So we're authed, and then if I make is authed false, does it still work as well? Save. No, doesn't. So navigate doesn't work in the exact same way. So how do we use navigate then? We just say navigate/home. Okay, let's try that instead. So rather than push, we don't push. We just say navigate home. Save. Let's see. So now if we go to the counter page, cool. What about if we go to protected? Great. We go home. Awesome. Cool. 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 Okay. Line 2, protected page. Navigate is not used. Aha, yes. Okay, cool. So save. Let's see if we get rid of these warnings. Let's go to protected. Awesome. Great. Cool. Great. Okay, cool, cool. So we figured that out as well. Great. Love it. And we will continue. So now we're going to lesson 4. Awesome. Learning common React patterns and creating these patterns from scratch. So I have a feeling we might create our own hook here. So we're going to create a manage forms in React, build a navigation sidebar. I was wrong. Load data and make network requests. And see how to use the children prop. Great, let's start lesson 4. Love it. Only 2 more lessons left. We're flying this. This is great. I will say it's nice to feel that progression a bit more. In Max's course, it's so long. We're still only 50% through, which is insane. But, you know, it's been such a wonderful journey and he's really teaching us a lot. So it's so worth it. I just want to see how much we'll learn from a smaller course. So forms are an integral part of many React applications. Forms are an integral part of every application. You know, in most apps, most websites, you will have at least a contact form, a contact us page form. So, or you might have, there's forms for everything. Anytime you put something in and information in a form, it's a form. So, you know, they're very integral to everything. And that reminds me, I should go back actually now as part of this 100 Days of Code Challenge. I have an Angular application that's my own website. I'll show you it here. So I have my own website and what I want to do is update it. Codingiskey.com is the name of my website. Here's my portfolio. So my name is actually Leanne, but I'm Lilly on YouTube. So here's just some information about me and my different bits. So this is my own website. And what I'd like to do is upgrade this. So I haven't done this in a while. So I'm supposed to have a contact me form down there. Don't have one. Books I've read, books I'm currently reading and things like that. Just information. So I'm going to update this with the 100 Days of Code Challenge and the different things I did each day. So people can come and refer to it. I'll put a link to it because that would be useful. And also then I am going to upgrade this whole application because it hasn't been touched. Lilly code, there I am. So Lilly code. So I also want to upgrade just the Angular version and everything. This hasn't been touched in a while, so I'm going to come back in here and upgrade the Angular version and stuff like that. So I'll do that live and we'll just work through that together, and that will be me actually programming and just showing you how I would go about, you know, my own total own project and not following anyone's tutorial. So we will come and upgrade this, which that would be a great project as well, upgrading from an older version of Angular. What I could even do is rewrite this again in React, but that seems intense. Do you know what I mean? Why would I do that? It takes a long time to get a website ready and get it up off the ground. So do I want to do that? Nah. So I think I'll just upgrade this and add a few pages and stuff, and we can work through that together and yeah, have a go. Maybe I will transform it all to React. That'd be a good project. But then again, I think with my added knowledge that I have now, you know, I should be able to go in here and do this with a bit of ease, not be messing about. So it shouldn't take too long either. So it will be a good thing to do. So, and yeah, just reminded me I need to add a form in here. It says there's a contact form and there is no form. So yeah, a bit of a dodgy website. So that's cool though. So what are our controlled forms in React? The state of our form is explicitly tracked. So what we can do is set a container component that tracks the state of our entire form. All the inputs. So this gives us greater control over everything that we're displaying to our user. So we track the state of all the inputs, and then so if a user types something into a particular form that isn't allowed, like the password that's not the right length or doesn't have the right characters, we can tell them that. So we've done all this with Max, but great, we're going to have a look here as well. So we'll create a new page now, and this is going to be called controlled form page. So new file, called controlled form page.js. So cool. And yes, let's continue. So we'll just set this up as we always do. So we export const controlled form page, and this is just going to be our usual arrow function, bada bing bada boom baby, you know what's going on. Cool. So then and we also need to export it from our pages.js, of course we do, but I'll add my return statement like so, and then in our page, and this is expecting some sort of a fragment or something in here, then that error will go away. Looking good baby. And then in our index we need to also export this. So export controlled form page from dot open our quotes, control form page, cool, add our semicolon, bada bing bada boom baby, cool. Oh, he's keeping his in alphabetical order. Neat. I'm just adding them in willy-nilly. And we need to add our route as well. So let's do that. In our app.js, we will come up here and add control form page before the protected page. So not for any other reason, just that I think that seems like good practice for some reason. And we'll just say form. This can be gone, our route can be form, and we'll save. We're running low on water. By the way, guys, just because it came up in conversation, I found a charity today that donates 100% of the proceeds to the cause. This is very rare to find. If you look into all of the charities, I've rang up charities before asking for information, where are your proceeds going, and some wouldn't even give me the information, which is hilarious. Like, if you want me to donate, how can you not tell me what you're doing with my money? And they wouldn't give me that information, which I thought seemed mad. But this company promises to give 100%. Now I need to look into it more. I should really look into it more before I go ranting and raving. I've decided to donate, but that was my own decision. So actually I'll look into it more. And once I find out that that's legit, I will share that information, because if anyone ever wants to donate to charity, to know 100% of your money is going to the cause is absolutely brilliant, and it clearly has something got to do with water if you want to look it up yourself. So 100% donation, charity, water. But until I do a bit more research and find out that that is definitely the case, and I look into it a bit more, then I will promote it. Because if that's something you want to do, you know, obviously it's totally your own choice, but for anybody that wants to donate, that's what you're looking for, isn't it really? So I'll share the information when I know that it's legit and I'm not just harping on about something that could be dodgy, you know, but I have faith. I really do have faith. It seemed really good, to be honest. He got me crying. I was crying when I seen the video. So yeah, intense but brilliant, and fair play to them. So, but still, I need to look into it more before I go recommending it to other people. So anyway, we have a form here and then a H3 tag, and this will say please enter your information. Cool. And then we're going to have a div with an input like so, and this will be an input of type text. So this is just our standard input form, and the placeholder is going to be name. And we will duplicate this. So rather than having this div up here like that, I'm going to just do this because we're going to duplicate this a few times and it looks better to my eyes anyway. So we want a few more of these. Okay, I copied a blank line. So paste it one more time and then get rid of all this empty space. And this is going to be email. Favorite color, nice, yellow. Funnily enough, because we did an insights thing and found out what our personality was, and you can either be red, blue, green or yellow, and it turns out my personality is yellow and my favorite color is yellow. So that's brilliant. That's just great. Oh my god, my favorite color has been yellow my whole life actually. That's so funny. Wow. The universe works in mysterious ways. So we will submit. This is our submit button down the bottom for the form. So great. And let's keep watching. So here's where the controlled part comes in for controlled form. So we're going to use useState. So we must import that from React. So first of all, I'll just create a useState and hopefully it'll automatically import it. So if I say const create a empty array here and say useState, it should automatically import that for us then. State, yes, and close these brackets. And the states that we want to have here are name, set name. Then we want a email, set email, and a favorite color. And set favorite color. So favorite, we'll just say color, and set color. Cool. And we'll use state for all of those, and we're going to initialize the state as just an empty string to begin with because the user won't have inputted anything and we're expecting a string. So cool. Okay. I have to say, I'm learning a lot about React, but he's taken a lot of shortcuts because these are small files. Not shortcuts, very valid ways of doing things. But when you're working with bigger projects, you just don't see things laid out like this. Like, you're not going to have inline functions. Your functions are going to be big. They need to be called. So, you know, got to keep this in mind, really. Because want to be able to recommend these to people who want to learn these for the workplace. It's still very valuable. Look, he's getting a great pace. What can you expect from a 4.5 hour course? I mean, he's doing a great job. So I'm certainly not dogging on it, but what's better? Should you just spend the time doing Max's one and that's the end of it? You know? And it's still great. Look, I'm not dogging on it. It's brilliant. Value. So value here is going to be name. This will link up the value. Don't we use ref? We use ref now. Let's just see value. Let's see what value happens. But Max was using on ref or using ref. And then on change. And here we have an inline function that's taking, this should be an equals. That's taking the event and is setting the name inline here to event.target.value, which really, actually, this would be a good case to update this to put extracting out this code. So actually, this is still great. This is really, really great. You know, it is. So, and then I'll move this down here. So now we're just going back to the first way, but that's okay. And let's do this one too. And let's do this one too. And then I want to drop these down as well. So we have type text, placeholder. We're going to want a value and our function. So drop this down and replace these two lines, value and our function, cool, and our closing input tag. And our value here, we need to get rid of this. Our val, and I need to add it back here. Yeah. So our value here is going to be email, and our target's going to be target.value, same. Yes, yes, cool. So I'll copy this now. I'll do the same here. And drop this down. Replace this. Cool. And then same again on the last one. Cool. And drop this down. This needs a closing tag there. Oh, that just went to the next line for some reason. That's fine. Let's replace this with our value and our unchange. And we just need to update this. So this will be color. And this will be... So we have name, email, color. That's all we have. So we don't actually need this last one. Cool. So let's just get rid of that altogether. And then we have our submit button. So we have everything hooked up now. And this should be okay. I think this should be ref, but let's just see what happens. Cool. So now when the submit button is clicked, at the moment we're going to just alert out the value. So okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. So down here on our button, we're going to add an on submit handler and tell it what to do when we submit this form. So this should be equals again. Open up our object. So we're going to take the event again, open up our function, and we are going to alert, backtick, and then we can put in the information that we want to alert in here. So what we want to alert is your name is, and $, name, to inject the name in there, comma. I'll just duplicate this, so then it's going to be your email is, email, and your favorite color. Color is, and color. So now we should get an alert message when we use this input form. So, and we also need prevent default. Yes, we do. So that also goes in here. So event.prevent the default behavior. Cool. Okay. So I do like this, to be honest, but it's not gonna be used everywhere, you know. So cool. So now if we head to our form route, we should see this form. So let's have a little goosey gander. So we'll go /form. Great. Let's see if this is going to work. So Lilly code, email, Lilly code. Okay, don't know what happened there. Weird. Oh, I bet you I have the wrong ref down here. So name, email. That's this event. So I'm going to try and use ref and see what happens. So const ref is equal to use ref and our parentheses, and then that should be imported from React as well. Okay, and then down here, rather than saying value, we'll say ref and save. Let's undo that accidental duplication, save, reload. Use ref is not defined. Let's reload. Function components cannot have string refs. We recommend using use ref instead. Figure out how to use that here. Go to. Cool. Input ref. Input ref. Props.input ref. Have I used this in the wrong case? Okay guys, so I'm going to just undo that for the moment because maybe I actually jumped ahead. I just had it in my head that we should be using ref there. So I'll just save. Oh, well, this should be, that's why. We're not using the right update. So we're setting name on every single input here. So this should be set email, of course, and this should be set color. I should have known from what was happening. And then this one should be set color. Because we were setting the name, we were calling the set name, so we were just constantly resetting the name because we called the wrong state management. So now if we do Lilly code, this will work. And now do Lilly code official at gmail.com. This is my email address. If any of you guys want to send me an email, I would love to hear from you guys. Comment, like, subscribe, all of it. Get involved. You know, I love you, you love me, we're a happy family and all that. So my favourite colour is yellow, and let's submit. And we do not get our alert. Okay. So our alert ain't alerting. That's okay. Right, so we'll worry about this alert next time. We have our form set up. It's able to take in values. The values aren't being overwrote anymore, so that's positive. But we do need to figure out why our alert isn't alerting these values to the page. So we'll continue with that tomorrow, guys. Thanks so much for joining me, Lilly Code, on another episode of 100 Days of Code. All my love, big hugs. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me, and peace. Thanks.